Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's talk about GameStop first, and then we will get into our normal stream, going over the dollar, the Russell, the NASDAQ, the S&P. The S&P? Yeah, you know, that one. The two plays I only took two, right? Chat, let me know if I only took two plays. I'll tell you this right now. I went long GameStop, and I also went short Apple. One before the other. But let's actually jump into GameStop, because if you were watching the volume and how it's done before, I was betting on the fact that they're going to complete the sale of their share offering that caused this just to get absolutely butchered. Both of these just landslides down are on the back of the CEO issuing more shares, but they did it rather quickly. And both of them was when they announced the offering was done. Then it turned around, and watching the volume, and the reason why watching the volume is important in this case is because they can't exceed 10% of the volume. So as long as you guys are getting in there and getting after it, they can get in there and sell their shares, which they did rather quickly. So we did get the news that they completed that, and it is starting to rally. Whether you want to call it a trend line, a zone play, whatever, we're rocking and rolling. So the plays I took today, and so I even said this in the chat earlier for everyone that's a part of that in the Patreon, but I said they're likely going to be done today. I'm going to buy it, and I went long the 24 strike calls for this Friday. It was just quickly, but I ended up doing it quite a few times. I want to say, I'll have to just look up when I said it first, because I can't remember if it was on this one or this pump. I'm pretty sure I did it at this pump, but I'll get the time just so we know for sure, because I ended up turning it into a spread. So I sold the 28 against it, and when it sold off, I bought another 24, rinse and repeat. So I ended up, and I closed it right before or sold another one right at the bell. So I ended up having three $4 spreads on this, and I got paid to be in each one of them. So I got paid to be bullish GameStop. Now I do still have shares, but just on this one, going short. Okay, so we're almost there. Sorry, I want to break this down. By 9:17, I had just turned into my first one. Okay, yeah. So I had bought right here. It pumped up, and this is where I had sold. So I had originally, I made $6 because I bought the 24 strike call for this Friday for $249, so $249. And then when it pumped up, I had sold the 28 against it, and I collected $255. So money in, money out, so money out, money in. All in all, I collected $6. I'm in a bullish $4 spread, which max gain will be $400. Max loss is plus $6. So I either make $6 somewhere in between, or 400 times 3. The other ones I've actually made a little bit more on. That was the weakest one. So I am still in those. As of right now, I think we're going to be good. As far as the mentorship play that I posted for it, so there's a growth count where I post everything that I do. Main chat, I just talk about my plays, but the growth count is the one I started from 0, right? So everything I just said, main account. Growth count, we had sold the 22 strike put yesterday. We collected $100 for that. And by we, I mean I did that, and if your analysis agreed and you took something similar, then maybe we're on the same page, but it's definitely not a call-out service, and you do whatever you want with your money. A lot of people asked, was I going to close that today? No, I didn't. I really felt like we were going to be good for a while. I honestly think it's going to just base out. We might even get a red day later, but I do think the $22 mark is safe. Safe enough for me to continue holding that and just collect the full $100. And I might even do it again next week. If we get any kind of sell offering like that, I might just extend it out for a week, because I do like putting up $2,200. As far as sold options goes, I like putting that up and collecting $100. Versus Palantir, you do that and you collect 17. So more than 5 times as much. It's not going to last forever. But I do think the volatility is here to stay. We do, as far as Roaring Kitty goes, he still has his call options. So there's a lot of debate on what's going to happen. And as far as the short squeeze goes, guys, he needs 12 million shares. Someone has to, if he says, hey, I want all mine, and he has the money, he needs 12 million shares. Like, the volume is, what, 200 million? Like, it's going to be fine. Now, if everyone holds on to their shares and the market maker wasn't selling covered calls, like you've seen me do, and they don't have the shares, now they have to go out to the market and buy 12 million shares. And a 12 million buy order, not $12 million, 12 million shares on any ticker is going to make a green candle. So depending on who's all in this, is everybody holding? Is it just traders playing the in and out game? If everybody were to stick to for the short squeeze to happen that people think, everyone's going to have to stick to their guns, not sell a single share, only buy more, and hope that person, the market maker who sold them those calls, doesn't have shares already. At that point, we'd probably see a significant drive. If you guys saw, there was someone did comment, said, what am I rambling about? There's ideas that people can publish on TradingView, and they are hilarious at best. It is without being mean, I mean, it shows me exactly why not a lot of people make it in this industry. I saw numbers crazy. There was one from 20,000 to 60. They think GameStop's going to go to 20,000 or 60,000. This thing can't even hit $100, and we're talking about thousands. And you're probably thinking with a short squeeze and all that, it's coming. Sure, it's not. Okay, the CEO is just salivating at another chance to sell more shares to you guys on the backs of retail. So I really would, once you get to that $40 to $60 mark, I really would start to consider. I don't know if I would go short. I think the risk is just not there. I'd wait for the trend change first. Once the trend does change, I would go short shares so I could just manage it. I know people think the money's in the options, but if I was going to go short, I would just go short shares and ride that train down. But for now, there's not a chance. It could be a cold day and you know where, for me to see this thing peak in after hours at $67 and not sell. Now, maybe third time's a charm and it just full sends, but some people probably think this is like an engine just cold starting. Oh, it takes a little bit to warm up and it's going to send it. And in their head, that probably makes a lot of sense. The price is going to get up here again, and he's just going to just dump more shares. The CEO is going to collect more money. They're going to have a lot of cash on hand, which is going to just convince the bulls even more to stay. But again, if you want cash on hand, just consider looking at NNDM or Palantir, PLTR. They got a bunch of cash on hand. That's all you want it for. There's a lot of other tickers. Not to deter anybody away, but I just until that CEO comes out and says we've collected enough money, we're not going to collect any more. Now, if they come out and say something like that, all bets are off. At that point, hold on to the ride. Sorry about your luck if you're in puts. Yeah, this thing's going to scream so far north. The best thing they could do is halt it with any kind of manipulation just to slow it down. Because right now, everybody knows they're just going to dilute it with more shares. In the meantime, I will, again, price sell. I would like to sell a couple more puts on this, to be honest. But I want to get juiced up on a red day. Right now, let's see if the trend does continue. Again, getting above that $40 mark, and I got to just question, where's the dilution news? What's about to happen? So careful shorting it at that price, but... And I'm not even a big person on scaling out. I often, if it's someone I know, I joke with them. I make fun of them a lot. Scaling out to me is silly. You're in the best position of your life, and you're just hacking it away. It's like having an Olympic runner and chopping it one leg off at the knee, and then chopping his other arm off. So no, actually, it's chopping the same side arm off at the elbow. Now he's just unbalanced. Like everything's just getting weird. You're just hacking away at your best position. I'd rather just trail things. That's just my way of doing things, which is, again, why I know I'm in call options today, but why I like shares right now. One, you can't halt it after hours. That seems to be a lot of where the action's at. Two, you could still trade it in the action, and that might be the best time to trade it, because if you look right here, after hours, pre-market, it closed here and opened here. It went nowhere. Dark analogy. Well, is it not true, though? Man, that guy's running great. Let me cut his ankle off. So I think you can dilute up to 1 billion shares. It only has 350 million sold. I don't know the exact rules, but I do know it's plenty more. I guess as a CEO, yeah, I mean, you have this rare time where people just have no idea what they're doing, and they just pile into money, and they're just, hey, take it, and they're just effectively PayPaling the CEO a bunch of money. I probably would too. I can't hate him for doing it. I really didn't like when AMC was doing it because he's just like spitting in the retail player's face. They're like, we're gonna buy a gold miner. Shut up. Just trying to like pander to him like a politician looking for some votes. At least GameStop's like, nah, we're going to sell some shares. And then they do it because they know this thing's going down. If they want their average cost to be anywhere remotely above $4, then they need to sell those shares now. So I got to say, if they do announce more shares, I'm going to wait for that. I might even, at that point, I might short it. But I'll buy the dip again. If they can sell shares that fast and it just gets that bullish, when it's done, I will rinse and repeat until it doesn't work anymore, right? So that's my GameStop play. Hopefully tomorrow, that's just $1,200. As long as it's above 28, it's $1,200. Plus whatever I collected to be in the trade. Shares, they're still rocking and rolling. Again, above 40. I don't think I'm going to sell calls this time. Above 40, I'm just going to probably go ahead and let it go. Let's talk about Apple. Does the chat know what I bought? Was it the 20? I want to say I bought the 204s. Where's Cody at? Cody watches my positions. He's usually in the chat like, no, you bought this. What am I in? Never mind. I bought the 202.50 put options for this Friday. So rein it back in play. Now, Apple so it's down 100%. So we had gotten up to here, and I went ahead and went short. I went short thinking we're at the expected move, little overbought. So as of right now, it is a rein it back in play. You just said short Apple. Yeah, I bought a put. Oh, you never saw it. Okay. Yeah, so I bought the 202.50s, and they're down right now. But right now, if we rein it back in, it'd have to rein it back in a little bit more for me to make money on that, which I still think I can. I saw it, pretty impressive stuff, I guess. But I don't know. I'm playing the pullback. Regardless, I was rather surprised that Apple made this move. But we talked about this on Sunday. So if you guys are watching and you are subscribed and you watch here on Sunday when we go live, I talked about this move happening if it shoots up. I said I was going to sell some call spreads. I said I would take a short play. I thought I was going to sell some call spreads, which was actually the 205, 207 call spreads. But I decided to just flat out go long puts on that one. Let's see what the RSI says. RSI is a little overbought. Hourly overbought. 15 minutes. Bringing her back in. Letting those things cool off. You loaded up at 166. I wish I could. What made you buy at 166? That's weird. What a weird coincidence. I still have an Apple. Everything I've said, I still think on Apple. They've just slacked off way too much on this AI stuff. The cool thing about this and what I am looking for, and I'll probably be long earnings if we can get kind of any hint here. I know I'm short right now. That's expiration this week. It is risk and capital. It is a rein it back in, a pullback play. I'm not actually bearish. In my investment account, I still have the shares that I have. What I'm going to look for is a lot of this stuff. So you need to have an iPhone 15 or newer. I don't think iPhone 15 is the one that has the USB-C, right? I don't think even I have that. I do have everything with an M1 and newer, so I'm good there. But a lot of people need to upgrade, and they have a lot of cool stuff. And I do think a lot of people will upgrade for this. So I don't know if it's going to be a super cycle for Apple, but that's what I'm going to be on the lookout for. So that would end up showing up in their earnings as impressive numbers, or we did this much in sales. You're so poor. You just had the 15? Is it the Pro Max? Can I at least fight you on that one? Yeah. So I usually just go out and get the latest one. Not to flex or anything like that, but I use my phone a lot. So a lot of times by the time the new one comes out, my battery is like, it used to last all day. Now I need like a midday charge. It's like an adult in his 40s, just needs that nap. He probably got it on a credit loan. 15 Pro or newer can accept the AI upgrade. Yeah. So anyway, I'm curious to see what this brings in, if this just reinvigorates anything. It just kind of brings the buyers back in, because this, again, was the first time when the new phone came out, I was like, I really don't need it. USB-C is cool, and if I had a bunch of free time, I probably would have been bored and just wandered into the store and got a new phone. But there was just no reason, no rush. That's it. My iPad, everything else charges USB-C, so I can't wait to do it and just have one cord. But I think now we finally have a legitimate reason as to why someone would upgrade. How to get the AI upgrade? I need it right away. They're rolling it out sometime in the fall. That's all we know. It is amazing to me how Apple convinces everyone they need to buy new phones every year. You're just mad because your texts are green, and you have to buy a new phone every year because your phones are already broken. I don't know why. I wish I had a better reason to tell you why I went to the store and got a new phone. It was just cool, and then they have like that Apple for Life plan where you just keep bringing it in. That's typical for the releases. I'm just giving you crap, Lisa. But the only person that talks back has green text. Typical American, loves to spend. You got me there. You really do. But anyway, for it to actually mean something, if it does actually mean something, at that point you will see this in an earnings play. So if anything, if there's any precursor to this other than just day-to-day trades, it's not really high up on my list. It doesn't typically move that much for me. I will be bullish their next earnings after this release. Samsung is so trash, and it's not up for debate. All right, what do you say? Can you guys hit the thumbs up button for me, and we'll just we'll move right into this. Right into this situation. That we can just do it all in one. But let's rock and roll. Let's just do all. Usually I would break it off and then go into the Mentorship group, but do you want to just continue? We'll call it a day. We'll do it all right now. Samsung sucks, but Pixel rocks. I found my Samsung phone. I have a Galaxy S10. It didn't make it. I literally just peeled the plastic off of it too. I can't do Zoom. I don't have all night, Lisa. Anytime I do Zoom, it's like 3 hours. I have to like really plan ahead for Zoom, because you guys will unmute those mics so fast. You got technician in here. I'll be talking about the S&P, and he's like, hey, tell me something about Ethereum. Got a question. Set a timer. Timers don't work. Timers don't work at all because I have to mute everybody. All right. Let's just roll. Should I take profit at 50%? Should I take profit at 50% on my spread, or can I go for 145? It'll be the most random stuff too. Which hopefully I'm gonna meet him here in a couple days. All right, let me get to this. So we got SMCI at long, stop loss 740.25. It's always weird when you guys do those numbers that are just right off of mine. I see. Hang on, you said 740? Right below that wick? Hang on. I don't know if I was going to sneeze. Thought I was going to die there. Okay, 740, 25. I really hate putting it right in a zone like that. Even speed bump zone or not, I get the wick right here. This must be an older expected move. I'm going to delete that. Yeah, I guess you're. Yeah, never mind. I agree. Because I was gonna say, like, I usually put my stop. For this one, I'd have it, probably at 7. Yeah, 714. I'd give it a few more bucks. But then by the time that tags out, is it just gonna run right into this zone? You're gonna pick it up right back up. Okay, so just keep it nice and tight. Right below that. Actually, no, I don't agree. Because this wick is just that one off, I think I'm putting it right inside here. 748.45. Because if that stops out and ends up being a wick, I'll get back in. I can double check that. That essentially will just be my alert for, hey, check this thing out. Because if it's breaking down, I doubt we just kind of we're gonna hit the bottom of this. Maybe find some buyers at type 2 area. Might even just full swing into that yellow zone if it actually does melt down. Because right now, kind of looks like that's what it's doing. Hammer on glass kind of situation. Like, we're about to find out what that glass is made of. So I would probably keep it tight and just keep that one off out of there. I see you guys posting a couple tickers in here. I have a list to go over. Don't forget those, so just hang out for a little bit. And I'll jump back into the YouTube chat. Don't think I'm ignoring you. I have a 435 poor man's covered call for June 21st against a long call for 816. Can I use those calls turn into some sort of spread so my long calls aren't touched? Yeah, of course. A straddle something. I like spreads better. Okay, so you sold a call, it's up, and it's down. You don't want it to go away. Let's see. Let's just do a quick little. Let's just say you grabbed. Here's your August one, and then you sold another one right here. You don't want it to go away. Okay, so that's the one you sold, and we'll say it's underwater. You went outside the money. No longer outside the money. So what you can do is you'll pay more for this. You'll have a spread. A bullish spread that you paid more to get into. You're going to essentially just lock in a loss right there. If you do this, that insures it for more, but depending on, just think money out versus money in. But either way, the second you introduce this one, it just becomes a spread. Spread right here and a leap. Just be careful with this because let's say you collected $3 on this one and you end up paying $5 for this. It's a $2 spread. You paid $200 and then at best you don't even make it back. Like, do you have the price? Let me just. Let's see. 435. Okay. You have the 435 for. I wouldn't even. Lisa, are we doing this again? Remember what happened last time? You're like, I'm worried about this. And I said, don't. And then you didn't have to. Remember that one time? Okay, so that's what you have. Last week. Okay, so you got your. Let's see. You bought the 5. Is that a typo? You bought the. Surely you mean 414. You didn't buy $100 out of the money, did you? Okay, 415. So say, don't, Lisa, I don't want to have that conversation. All right, so you're long there. You're sold. You're good there. You have till the 21st. I think I'm going to... If you're nervous, this would just be your insurance. 435s. I would try to time that, though. Any kind of basing out, this theta kicks in. Any kind of pullback, this one gets better. Now, when it bases out or pulls back, then I would consider buying this one. And at that point, yeah, it's just a bearish call spread, and then this one doesn't get touched. That just gets executed as a spread. And you could just, if you want to feel even better, just close that down as a spread. So I'm buying at what strike? Depends if you want bullish or bearish. Because you're in the 435s. So if you go a higher strike, that's a bearish call spread. And if you go below it, that's a bullish call spread. Personally, I don't know. I would still kind of wait for some kind of timing on this. Because every time we shoot up, it comes right back down, right back down, right back down, right back down. Couple days, right back down. Tried it again, right back down. Doesn't mean it's always going to. It's a good-looking ticker, plus it's Microsoft. But I would still try to. And you have till the 21st. You have a couple days to let this thing settle down, and then place this one. I'm at 435 because it's above all-time highs. Yeah. I would let that cool down. Now, if I see it go sideways and the RSI is cooling off, I know indicators are cooling off. At that point, I'm going to go it. But I'm thinking I would let that chill for a second. If it does not cool down, buy this. You can always just buy this back to close it. Chill is not my forte. You're going to buy a call regardless, whether you buy this one back to close or buy this one to open. Either way, there's going to be a call option getting bought here. You could let theta do its thing and then just roll it. And just give it another week. Thanks for that one, Cody. Don't let me forget that at the end, Cody. I've got to break this down. She doesn't want to lose the shares. And she doesn't have shares. It's poor man's covered call. So she just has this long call option right here. I know you don't like rolling, but you can face palm me all you want. It's going to cool down. It's going to be fine. Here's the exact same conversation again. Apple, 207.50 covered calls. What do I do? I would make an irrational, impulsive decision after a move like this because I like to ensure that I make moves at the absolute peaks. Either way, I chill, relax. That's what I do. I'm not about to make a move at the worst time ever. Thought we were thinking differently. If it does this for the rest of the week, your 207.50s, they're just fine. They got close. I'm short this. I hope it pulls it right on back. But for now, either way, no matter what options gymnastics there is, I'm hanging out. I also have a long put on Apple. Yeah, me too. I hope that one wins. So that red candle needs to get a whole lot bigger. And what we're going to do at the end, what I told Cody to remind me, is we're going to go over the dollar, the Russell, the NASDAQ, and the S&P, which might make a little more sense as to where tech is going to go. All right. Let's see. Growth account. We've already gone over it. We have the sold put on GameStop and 2 shares of Nvidia. Apple is going, gone. Did Lisa tell you that? No. Apple did shoot up today. But I would let it chill. We have 4 shares of Nvidia. Two buys. Yeah, 120.74 and 118.18. 118.19 is the exact position on that. I'm this close to buying the other 96. Hood. Why is that so slow? Hood looks like a continuation. Are you still short? My line in the sand, if it breaks 23.55 at that point, I think it's gone. We're going to break up. We have CPI tomorrow and PPI Thursday. Hopefully one of those has a red reaction, maybe brings the markets down. This follows suit, and you can get out. But I would say you're in management mode right now, so no new lows. Here's one I haven't seen Cody in a while. PayPal went long. 60 went long, stop at 62.35. Who put that alert there? 62.35. Not bad. You probably could have tightened that up. Yeah, personally, I would have done 63.45. Because if it, see how it kind of like based out here. If it breaks that, I'll make the decision to get back in. What if it just melts down? What if it tries to do its best impression of Rivian? I agree with that play. Did you grab 100 shares by chance? Or you too poor because you bought your new phone and you didn't have enough money? Is that what happened? You couldn't buy 100 shares? Just kidding. I feel like I got to get you back now. Nvidia basing out. Like I talked about, going sideways this week, maybe even next. I'm in no rush. I am buying Nvidia, just no rush in case it does pull back. There's a lot of people comparing the splits to the last time things split, like Tesla, Google, Amazon, Nvidia. And there's a lot of people showing the data about how those were down after. They split in 2021. That market doesn't exist anymore. It's not like a thing. So I would take that with a grain of salt. And right now, take it to where's Nvidia at? Where do you think it's going to go? And either way, no matter what my Nvidia buy is, if it goes down, I'm just going to buy more. Let's see. Nvidia closed 127 for around 50%. Looking for another pop to sell the 128s or higher. I was trying to think, could we get a little bit more aggressive with this? Maybe the 126 is, yeah, but then you're asking for it. I do think we base that a little bit longer, if not an actual pullback. It'd be cool to get to that 115 mark. You're probably not going to get that move until after CPI or PPI, because right now, if anyone's waiting to play that, they're gonna hang tight. Maybe now if that sends it up, then yeah, you never trust the first move. That's when I would sell that call. Google, you bought back your 177.50 near the bottom of the day, sold the 180s near the end of the day. So is that a zone play or no? Like, so it hits this magic yellow box and you close your short position, pumps back up to here, and you open another one? What do we think about the Tesla phone? I believe that when it comes out. I believe I'll buy that with my Roadster. All you really need to know is I am a beast. I read that as the best, and I was like, I can't wait to read this. Yeah, you absolutely killed it. I mean, that's a check mark day, zone to zone, zone to zone, zone to zone. Absolutely killed it. And for anyone following right now, he has Google shares, and he has sold calls against it. So as that sold call, as the stock sells off, that's making money. He closed that. It pumps up. His shares grow in value, and then it pumps up all the calls too. And then he sells a call against it, to which hopefully does the exact same thing again. Rinse and repeat. Amazon, I did nothing. Still in the 185s. You're hoping for a bad CPI. Other than that, you're probably rolling. Google is an income ticker. Yeah, I mean, that's an income strategy. Careful talking about that, Cody. That's mentorship stuff. These people just need to know we're dividend ticker buyers. Okay? Google, Nvidia, Meta. We buy dividends for the residual income. Amazon with a roll way up and out or something? Okay, Lisa. No, you're not. Not yet. Not yet. We're still hanging out in that zone. And we've spent some time outside, but we've come right back down. And all you need is to roll one time, even the 185s, and have this happen again, and then you're good. So on a leg up like this, I think I would roll and hang out. I don't think I'd see a breakout just yet. No, personally, I think you're going to be okay. I mean, you obviously understand the risks, but I think I would plan on rolling that. In my head, mentally, I think I'm going to roll it for one more week and then good. Tesla. What the F? It's just playing between the zones. Good time. No sold call is criminal activity. I'm homeless. Why was there news as to why it broke down? I did see he's not going to let Apple users on. Maybe that was a parody account. Did he say he's not going to let Apple users on X because they have the AI stuff? In my head, I thought, LOL. Like, literally, LOL. Good luck with that. I even like Elon, but some of the stuff is just silly. That's the news. No, iPhones at his plants. Okay, I was thinking the one I saw was if you have the iPhone, he's not going to let you on the Twitter platform. Okay, no iPhones at his plants. You can make that decision. When you're the company owner, you can. Just like government employees can't have TikTok on their phones. If you believe it's in your best interest, so good. Put your phone down and start making some more robots. That's what I need to happen. I'm in full support of this. I still don't think I'm getting assigned my shares. I have the 170 sold for this Friday, next Friday, and the Friday after that. I actually still don't think I'm going to get my shares. Started off with a good long today. 3 ticks from the bottom, but trailed too tightly and got tagged out for 5 points. Hey, 5 points is what you're after, right? On your little 1 minute time frame. I made 5 points today. Did you like that? Then I was trying to short the rest of the day and got ran over. Why? These rallies make me want to just buy SPY calls at any red candle. The problem is everyone knows that, and you do have to pay for it, so it ends up being a wash. It really feels like every dip is just bought up, and I should just be YOLOing 0 days to expiration SPY calls every time I see a red candle on a time frame higher than 1 hour. Man, I know exactly what you're talking about, and right now, I think it would work. It works until it doesn't, and that's the dangerous part is The one time it didn't work, was that a fluke? We're right back on. Or is it the start of something new? Every day you just buy SPY calls, you win. Yeah, who in our group right now is buying QQQ calls every day? Killing it. We'll get to the futures here in a little bit. We'll probably touch base on that again. First Solar. It's been a while since we've broken this down. Did we delete all the zones or just not loading? Because I know I've broken this down about 1,000,000 times. I would have to at least note this right here. Nothing but Winnie the Pooh right there. Breaking up and out. I would say if it pulled back and checked that from the top, that would be my long play, right around the 275. You're just long in general. If I was already long down here, my stop would be comfortably 259.45. Feet on the desk, just hanging out kind of thing. Breakout trade. That's a bit up there to be calling it just now the breakout. But it's doing pretty well. I mean, that's a rally base. I mean, you know the two options, right? Rally base rally or rally base drop. I would buy the dip on this. Cody will buy tomorrow and ruin it. Lori, GME went over GME in the beginning. I think it's going for a ride now. Please. I just wanted to not get sold into. No zones. Must have gotten deleted along the way. Okay. All right. Is Lori here? Are you rolling your calls still? Oh, you're in calls, yeah. Sold calls. Disney. Buy now, type 3. That's a type 2. Unless you're buying puts right now. Type 3 entry with the 99.35 stop. Or okay, so you want to wait. So here, for everyone that's maybe new to my channel and how I do things, what I do is called profitable. Anyway, here's a type 1, here's a type 2, here's a type 3. Please understand the sarcasm. I also quit Monster, so if the jokes seem extra dry or tired, it's because you should short Monster Energy. Okay, so type 3, your stop remains the same on all of these. You just get more shares. If you know how to adjust your risk properly, then that should make sense to you. So if you're going to wait and buy up here for the type 3 on the breakout, I think that'd be the better play. Because right now, it looks like it's about to break down. My alert, I'd rather have my alert right here at the, actually, $100.50. Because if that goes, I might just short this. Right on down to $95. Okay, you don't have calls right now. Maybe tomorrow. Do you have shares? Do you have anything sold against it? Or just not in GameStop at all? My target would be 108 or higher, which is a 1-to-4 ratio. The golden ratio. Any adjustments? 99.35. You could probably tighten that up. If it hits 99.35, it's probably coming down here anyway. Honestly, if it breaks, that's a really crappy stop. I'd say I'd have it below these wicks is what I'm looking at, and put my stop at $100.15. I would really lose my mind to watch it just tag that $100 mark or $99.80. So no, you're right, 99.35. Okay, you have shares right now. Okay. Look at Lori, part of the movement. Diamond hands. Or diamonds on the hands. May sell calls tomorrow. If it pumps up, I will say this as far as GameStop goes, the party's about done. I give it, and I know earlier I said the volatility is going to be here for a little bit, and I do think a couple weeks, 3 weeks. Let's just see what goes on at expiration on the 21st. So any of these right now, I do think I don't want to say we're due. Would I be surprised to see another run like this? Absolutely not. But that's where I got to say I would start getting loose with the shares. I mean, the game of hot potato does eventually end, and you don't want to be the one holding the hot potato. So anyway, when I say it's about done, like we've held this for a little bit. It's time to make a move. Could be just to 20,000 like these other people are saying. Could just be right back down to 4. So I wouldn't be. So if it does pump up, I wouldn't be afraid to lock it in. Wasn't GameStop supposed to have earnings today? The 11th, yeah. It was assigned at 30, so deciding whether to just sell the shares or sell calls. Ooh. I do. The part that sucks about calls is everything that happens pre and post hours. And you're kind of just in that play, or you're along for the ride. You can manage things. You can buy it back and all that. You're kind of just on the ride, If you're 1 foot out the door, I would probably just wait and sell some shares on the way up. They did not release earnings last week because of Roaring Kitty. They released some filings that they had to announce a share offering, but there's still a couple more things that need to be released, which was supposed to be today. I want to say it's the actual 10Q. I don't think that got released earlier. All right, hood. I could do margin for the last 29 shares. It'd take maybe a month to pay it off. Got an M&Q this morning, still trading. Okay, we're about to do futures. You know how I feel about that. As long as it turns into an income, and it's liquid enough, come on, this is always. Downstate's about to buy 96 more. Oh, what are we talking about? I have the 128 strike calls on Nvidia. They're up 50%. I will look to close them for that profit and sell more covered calls at a higher strike. Yeah, we'll be selling a lot of Nvidia options. Hang on, I'm just gonna get. It's not like the most liquid. Tells me I'm about to see a disaster. 4 people trading this. You're about to double the volume. $10 move. So you're looking at what, the 345s? I've seen worse. $145. Personally, I probably would. Yeah, Cody, use the 3-minute candle crossovers on the futures. Palantir, you're going to roll the 2250s. What I would consider is 2 weeks out, get it to the 23s. If I could go to 23s next week and get paid, I would do it. But you're probably not going to be able to, so it'd have to be the following week. I would get paid to bump it up to the 23s. I would bump the strike up. Not up and out, just up. If it's still underwater, next week, same thing. Up the strike. Oh, Monson, you meant the type 2? Okay. On Disney. All right, let's check out the dollar. I know I did check my Forex position. It didn't really do anything today. Dollar's just hanging out. I really don't like that it got above that. It's hopefully CPI and PPI, whatever we got to do to bring this thing on down. Come on. I saw Bitcoin headlines of this is what happened. It didn't say zone, so I didn't really read the article. That's funny, though. So we're still in this range. Nothing's happened. That's what the article should have said. This is what happened to Bitcoin. And it should have been one word after that. Nothing. Dropped to 67,000. It dropped to $3. Like that's like nothing for Bitcoin. Still in this range. If you are new to me, just have your alert. It's gonna be bullish above this zone, bearish below this zone. A break and a close is going to be your signal. But for now, I wouldn't worry. If I was trading Bitcoin, that would be my dip buy. S&P closed at highs. So again, drop down to the zone. Then it went up. I'd say tomorrow's going to be the continuation. We talked about turnaround Tuesday today. You got the dip buy. Tomorrow, I bet we just continue up. If we got a dip buy, not that I'm a 0 days expiration person, but if we got the dip buy, I would buy some calls tomorrow. NASDAQ just rocking and rolling. That obviously needs to chill. Matt says he got in long the NASDAQ this morning, still trailing. I don't know who taught you these habits, but he sounds like a guy that might know what he's talking about. So he didn't just scale out, start hacking off limbs. If I'm trailing this, yeah, my stop would be below this wick right here. Tech. I don't know. Tech just looks way more overbought than the S&P does. But for now, I gotta say, even though I'm short Apple and it's not good news for that position, it does kind of look just more like the continuation. We should have slowly sold everything in the growth account instead of all at once. Yeah, unless everything's sold off, then you'd be saying the exact opposite. We should have just sold it all. I don't play that game. I just wanted the cash. I have a plan to buy other things, and I wanted the cash available, not make 92 trades when I need the cash. Yeah, Apple was the mover today. Russell looks like the buy still. Russell's still in that zone. He's hanging out. He's holding on tough. Not that I would, but I would feel better buying the Russell out of the other two right now. The other two, I think it's worth waiting for a dip buy. So hopefully CPI, PPI, something has a red excuse. We're going to get the rate decision tomorrow as well. Hopefully not a single person on this planet thinks we're going to do anything with the rates. I think they're just looking more for what's Powell going to say. What's the verbiage we're using here? Any kind of guidance to where we are going to cut or not? Or is it going to be the same thing he said for the last 4 years? But if we do get that move down right before, I would call that a dip buy. And Cody, all sarcasm aside, I would just buy the 0 days expiration. And it might be the one day it doesn't work, but that's the worst that could happen is you buy the absolute peak. And once you're over that fear, you don't want to be just running and gunning, just slinging, just you'll just lose a whole bunch. You still want to be strategic with it, but that's what I would do tomorrow is look for that dip buy. But I'm going to wrap it up here. Let me know in the comments down below. Hang on. Someone said something about Oracle, and before I forgot, who was it? You have 2 seconds for me to find it in the chat. Because I even said, let me break this down later. TJX, got it. Marshall, if you're still here, I will break down TJX right now. You got to show up in the comments. And was the next one Oracle? CRM. Okay. Marshall and YP. Are you still here? Oh, he is still here. Oh, you even copied and pasted it. Oh, I like that. TJX. Okay, you said you're short from 108.55. Where do you think it's headed? Hopefully a full-blown reversal for now. That's a tough one to call a reversal on. Looks a little vertical. Looks a little overbought. I don't want to come at this with a bias and just tell you you're going to be right. Give me 1 second. What's going on right here is the question. So buyers have been there, sellers have been here, and you need that to really break for it to get somewhere. I think if that breaks, I'm on the gain train down to the 103 mark. 108.50. So the 108.55. You just come out here to brag. The high was 108.57. I went ahead and went short at 108.55. Sorry, I was feeling a little ill that day. My execution was a little off. I'm probably not going to lose any money on this trade, though. I would put my stop at 107.55, and hopefully that breaks down. Top ticket was watching for days for an entry. Nice, like a little sniper. Yeah, so what I would like to do is put my stop in the green, 107.55. At that point, I make $1 per share. If it breaks down, good. If it really breaks down, I'll move my stop to probably 106.35, and hopefully it just goes all the way down to here, and I can just keep trailing. And if you get a pretty decent reversal, this is why I wouldn't want to choke it out. If you could catch a whole move like that down, now I don't want to sell you a position, but we can, here we go. It would be really cool to see something like that happen. Which, awkwardly enough, would put it right here at this zone. You guys are both still here. Cody appreciates you, by the way. Cody does the morning clips you guys are seeing, where he clips out the S&P and everything. So I do want to give him a shout out. He's the mod on here. He does that. He needs your help. I will look at Oracle. Let's look at CRM first. Oracle closed 120. I was like, nope. The numbers just aren't working. CRM. Cody is king. Cody, screenshot that. Cody's done a lot of work. I will say that. Cody has helped me out a lot. Way ahead of you, Don. CRM. Are you long or short? Because right now, I gotta say that resembles more a dead cat bounce than anything else. Sell off, knee jerk reaction. We get it up there for a little bit, but if the momentum starts to die out, I would be nervous. Getting on top of that zone, different story. But if we start to reject right here, now if it pulls back, makes a higher low. Sorry, I was being recorded right there. Siri 1.0 was trying to stop. Anytime I say her name, she doesn't do anything. So I'm talking about her. Oh, man. If it made a higher low around this 230 region, dip by there. But for now, it almost looks better to go short with a stop at 247.45. And we have a visitor. All right, good earnings, good guidance. Speaking of Oracle, did you want to come over here? 1 second. I have to let the dust settle on this one. It would be a long play just from the chart in general, but there's nothing I can say right now. I guess if you were in call options, you can't even short shares anymore. I would let the dust settle, so it needs to base out. There's not even zones up here. Nothing for me to draw. You could entertain. We sold off right here. Just the absolute peaks. So maybe you can see what we do in that area. All right, INTC. 1 second. This is a live trade, by the way. It's just not doing anything. So if you want to know my Intel trade, got in back here, and I am just hanging out. So many times, hindsight, I wish I would have just put my stop in, tagged out, got back in. I'm just going to hang out forever. GME to the moon. I know I saw a guy covered in Band-Aids who gave me these words of wisdom. Anyway, if Intel breaks that, I don't like it. I'll be out. But they like you, Aven. They got to ask you a question. Okay, I need you to pick a color. Okay. Let's see if she's like her older sister. Okay, come here. Oh, what's on your face? Makeup. Oh, makeup. That's always good. Okay. Is this one going to be red or green? You pick a color, one or the other.
Red.
Red, like a little red or big red?
Big red.
Big red. If you're anything like your sister, people are going to be really worried. I'll be up in just 2 seconds, okay?
Can you help me clean this off?
Yeah, 1 second. All right, so I guess whole account short. Cody, looks like your sold calls are going to be fine. Can we get a word from the Oracle? The other Oracle, gymnastics, she's taking her place. Intel needs to get going. Intel just needs to do something. Puts loaded. All right, I'm going to wrap it up here. I will see you guys all. Well, Mentorship. I'll see you guys in the morning. Have a good one.